Hello, and welcome to Food in Art, a wonderful opportunity for you to get a taste of how two human concerns, nourishment and beauty, have blended together through the centuries to create masterpieces. I'm art historian Elizabeth Lev, and I hope that you'll enjoy these bite-sized pieces of fun, facts, faith, and beauty about food. 70 meters long, 50 centimeters high. The incredible Bayeux Tapestry tells the epic story of the Norman conquest of 1066. It was made in the 11th century in England, an embroidered cloth that recounts the battles, the preparations, the sieges of this tremendous epic historical event. But scene 48 of the 73 scenes shows us a Norman banquet and gives us a lot of insight into food and the Norman conquest. The Normans have just entered England, and they're preparing for the great battle that is to come. And we see this banquet taking place in a semicircular table. The figures are arrayed around a table that curves towards the viewer. Now, you would expect in the story of battle that the center figure would be William the Conqueror himself, but instead we see his half-brother, Bishop Odo, who, in the legend above, is blessing the food and drink. Many scholars have likened this to images of the Last Supper, those last moments when Jesus quietly eats with his apostles before the violence and death of his passion that will happen later. At any rate, to the left of the table, we can see the food coming out of the oven, the roasted meat fresh off the spit, ready to be carved and brought to table. The Normans actually introduced new foodstuffs into the English diet. Up until then, the English had eaten lamb, beef, goat, but with the introduction of the Normans, we had rabbit and chicken and pork. As a matter of fact, rabbits had been specially cultivated by the Normans. They developed rabbit warrens, and rabbits were very expensive. They cost 4 to 5 times more than a chicken. William the Conqueror was actually famous for his feasts. Wherever he went, he liked to make sure there was fine food and drink. As a matter of fact, a contemporary chronicler tells us that for one Christmas feast, he and his entourage consumed 6,000 chickens, 1,000 rabbits, 50 peacocks, and 10,000 eels. By contrast to the meat and the reveling taking place towards the ovens, if you look at the plate of Odo, there's only fish. There's actually another fish slightly off to the right. We see this quieter table, which is involved in eating bread and fish, which again brings us back to a biblical allusion. Over where the meat is being prepared, a reveler holds up his horn, a drinking horn, which was associated by that time in the 11th century with excessive revelry and drunken practices. So the tapestry contrasts the more decadent partying on the left and the more contained and calm scene on the right. There's an interesting contrast between the revelers on the left and the more contained table on the right, presided by Odo. Odo, by the way, was the man who commissioned the tapestry. And interestingly, it is his first appearance in the story, in this scene. So up until then, as the stories of betrayal take place and the crossing and the arranging of the war, Odo was absent. But here at this moment of gathering, as everyone comes together, that is where we see the first appearance of the man who gave us the Bayeux Tapestry. You'll see the drinking vessels change from left to right. The more contained ceramic cups and glasses are used at the table of Odo, whereas the drinking horn is over by the images of the meat. The Normans actually gave more than just chicken and rabbits to England. They introduced the clean-shaven look. As a matter of fact, looking through the Bayeux Tapestry, you can see that the English are generally represented as bearded and the Normans are clean-shaven. Another interesting observation is that the Normans used no implements for their eating. Spoons and forks, they didn't exist in the 11th century. Instead, people preferred to use their fingers, God's forks, as they called them.